The second expression of Cancer is growing. All things alive grow, and they do so by eating, and we're all a part of the food chain. We're all eating something, and we're all eventually eaten as well. Dead or alive, we get eaten. And that's how it is. That's the ruthlessness of nature. And so in this 6th degree of Cancer, we're discussing the ruthless aspect of nature and the ruthless aspect of Cancer, whose primary task is to care for a family. And the business of doing that will mean putting food on the table and making sure that we don't become food to something else. That's the essence of the ruthlessness of nature, and we have to attend to that. And this is the game birds feathering their nests. We attend to that by looking after ourselves first. It's like when you're in an aeroplane, you're told to put on your own face mask before you attend to your children's. And it's the same principle. We have to make sure that we're okay and not worry too much about any other, including the kids. First, take care of yourself. Feather your own nest so that gives you the capacity, the potential to care for others. And if we try and avoid that, then it won't work. We get burned down. We get invaded and destroyed. We have to take care of who we are personally first. That's Cancer 6. Now Cancer 7 is the other part of Cancer. Cancer is not only pragmatic and ruthless and so on, it is also potentially quite fanciful. And in Cancer 7 we introduce this idea. And we find that these are not contradistinctions. To be fanciful and imaginative, 2 fairies on a moonlight night, opening up imagination, we find that it's actually a realistic tool for creating outcomes. Not much thought so in normal society. Most people think that fanciful imagination is just that, escapism, which it is. We do escape the stresses and the burdens of life that the soul really doesn't enjoy and doesn't function well within. So that escapist aspect of imagination is quite useful. But it does actually create the possibility of greater knowledge. We can imagine something. We can imagine up. We can imagine ourselves fulfilling a higher role if we develop the power of imagination. And this is what Cancer 8 is referring to when it says the rabbits are dressed in clothes and they're on parade. A cat may look at a king, a rabbit may dress up in clothes and be on parade. What we're looking at here is the principle of modelling. We model ourselves upon another who has gone a little bit further along the path that we want to walk. So we're looking to find some guidance here. And we do that by the process of fake it till you make it. You dress as though you were in the position. You speak as though you have the knowledge, the wisdom, the authority. And at one level, that could be seen as self-deception or deceiving others. And yet, if you actually move into a certain state of grace, it isn't that. This is what is called an affirmation, where you know what you are, but you speak as though you're more than that, because a part of you is more than that. It is understood that whatever you can imagine is an aspect of the truth of your being. It might not be readily available to realize on the physical plane, but because you've imagined it, it's your imagination, it's part of you, and it's your specific imagination, like your dreams are part of you. It's the same kind of thing. So if you can accept that a part of you is that way, and you behave as though you're that way, then you become like that. That's a process of becoming. And in fact, without that final mystery of assumption, you can't get it. You can't go anywhere unless you eventually assume the position that you want to be within. So if you want to be something else, you have to behave as though you are that something else. This is the mystery of Cancer 8. And then we move to the image in Cancer 9 of the tiny nude miss looking for a fish. And the fish is swimming in the sea. The sea is the unconscious always. And the fish is like real and alive. It's something within the unconscious she's looking for. And she's nude. She's not dressed like the rabbits. She's taken off her glamour. She's taken off her defense system. She's naked and willing to receive information. And this is fundamentally about delving into the unconscious realms, open to answers. We find that very hard to do alone. It really isn't easy to move into the unconscious realms alone. So we're moving towards the whole principle of understanding the importance of guidance, and that we can't really grow unless we're subject to guidance. We receive guidance all of the time, from parents, from school teachers, from peers and dignitaries and so on. We're always subject to guidance being available. But a lot of people get egotistical about this question, and they think, why should I take somebody else's point of view? Okay, that's fine for some circumstances, but not for this one. If you want to grow, you need a guide. And you need to approach the guide in this state of innocent inquiry, unguardedly. And then you will go into your unconscious realms and pick up the reward, something that can feed you on a higher level. And I think this brings us to Cancer 10, the large uncut diamond. An ugly lump of rock is likened to ourselves as an undeveloped ego. And we shape the diamond by training with a guide. And we train ourselves to be a sparkling diamond and to express that potential that was once hidden within. The uncut diamond is not beautiful, but having gone through training, having shaped our personality, then we can express our full diamond self. So this process of growing is very definitely beginning with selfishness, feathering your own nest, and moving towards the need for opening up to become more than once you were by taking guidance and working on yourself.